wherever you're at. Could be at work trying to listen silently. Kids might have just gotten up. You might have just gotten up. But I need everybody, whether you can do it out loud, whether you need to do it internally. We're going to do it all together right now. 3, 2, 1. Guards! Yeah! Woo! Let's go! David Fry, baby! Yeah! That woke some people up. Let's go! Man! Hell yeah! Ain't never been done before, Ryan. Second pitch hit home run in playoff history. First one to put your team ahead in Guardians history. Yes! Yes! Dude. Woo! Man! Believe. That's all I asked yesterday. And we didn't have a show yesterday. I woke up like everybody else. Man, this sucks. Vogt doesn't know what the hell he's doing. Put it aside. Find a way. And they did that, man. We're back home tomorrow for Game 5. For the right to go face those Yankees. Yeah! Man, what a game that was last night. What a game it's going to be tomorrow. Plenty of guards to get you filled up for the next couple hours. We got Jensen Lewis coming up at 10. Can't wait to talk to him. It was rocking at the truck park. It's going to be rocking tomorrow for our pregame Lipton Hard Iced Tea. We're going to be there, 8 o'clock game starting at 6 tomorrow over at Lakewood Truck Park. That's the play. It's going to be electric, man. It's going to be so great. So much guards to get to here on the show. We'll sprinkle in the Browns. Can we have a magic weekend, man? You got guards, Ohio State tomorrow. You got Browns on Sunday. We got it all lined up for us. Plenty of baseball coming up as we got a chance to head to the ALCS. It's all on your side. Who's pitching? What do we see out of that game? We'll talk about all of it. We got our plays to get to. We'll get to the Friday report card. We got our giveaway. Do not forget, go to @Matt Show. You want to win a Guardians playoff t-shirt, go retweet, follow us there. We're going to pick our winner at the end of today's show. Time Hop, morning update. We got it all on a beautiful Victory Friday right here on Big Play. Welcome to the show, everybody. I am Matt Fontana. He is Ryan Tyler. I don't think my heart rate has come down from that game last night. Guardians get the win. 5-4, safety squeeze. You're going to say, okay, all right, didn't need that, but we're here. And it's a resilient game from the guards to get it done. It's not going to be easy, man. No part of this is going to be easy. No part of tomorrow is going to be easy. It's the scrap. It's the fight. It's finding the ways to score runs and just persevere. And obviously, obviously, you got Tarek Skubal. I keep calling him Tariq Skubal. I guess it's Tarek. Tarek Skubal. Screw you, Skubal. Whatever. He's pitching tomorrow. You're going to have to get to him at some point. Who do you throw? A lot. But at this point, let's capture this energy. You saw those guys jump off that bench yesterday when Fry connected, and I had the feeling. I sent the tweet. I sent the Nostradamus tweet there.
Yeah, you did.
I did. I was feeling. I was like, man, this is just like the Roger Dorn in Major League. All right. We just need a single. Here comes Serrano. Bam. Bing, bang, boom. Done. Smoked it. And I said that about Brisky, too. That guy has stuffed it to us a couple of games. Hey, man, he's due. You sit on that fastball, and you just crank it. The legend of David Fry. The legend. Because I think that was one thing that, as the Guardians had that flip in the second half and all that, you lost the Fry magic. You did. You lost it a little bit. And boy, did he show up. There's still a lot of questions around this team, okay? Because we're not going to be negative today. Today's a fantastic day, but we need to look at some of these things, all right? Yesterday, even with Stephen Vogt, because I love Tom Withers, and Tom sent out a tweet saying, everybody questioning Vogt's moves now. Yeah, I still am. Yeah. And there are things that Stephen Vogt has had to learn Did I like the pinch hitting in the second inning on Wednesday? No. Yesterday, leaving Bybee in there for one extra one. All right, he's learning. He's finding his way. And you are still able to overcome that kind of stuff. And I think as well, tomorrow, what he has learned through this short series to understand the importance of some of these moves. The thing I didn't like Wednesday was I don't think that set a good tone. And baseball, when it comes to these playoffs, I think it's around the league, because I even see this with the Tigers a little bit. Everybody's a little drunk on the let's get to the bullpen early, right? They're all drunk a little on the Terry Francona. Let's get to it early. Let's have guys get multiple inning saves, all that. And you see the game being played. And I do think Stephen Vogt kind of got caught up in that a little bit. Now, yesterday, nobody's going to complain about him pinch hitting David Fry. It worked out. The righty, lefty, whatever you were trying to do, the game, the chess match that is being had right now. And I think he's got to overcome some of that. Again, I understand there's going to have to be moves. I think, frankly, how he used the bullpen was fine. You went to Cade Smith when you needed to. Hunter Gaddis to come back out after giving up those runs and having a real big boy inning there. You needed that. You have found a way to persevere. But it all comes back to what? Scoring some runs. And the Guardians, they had Reese Olson yesterday. You saw confidence stepping up to that plate. There were some at-bats, specifically from Quan, I'll give you Jose Ramirez, and Lane Thomas. If you ever played baseball, when you're just locked. And it's just all about they see the pitches. They're seeing it. They're seeing it so well. I need Naylor to step up a little bit. Andres Jimenez is just lost right now, but okay, we'll find that up. Dude, freaking Brian Rocchio.
Yeah, he's having a hell of a series.
He has a hell of a series.
He's seeing the ball. Him and Quan are seeing the ball better than anybody right now.
Right. They're seeing it. And that, again, gets some guys on base. You saw the aggressiveness is starting to steal a little bit. And now what? We know it's all pushing up against the Tigers for tomorrow. And I'm going to say the same thing I said about Tariq Skubal for the other game. Can he do it again? I hope not. Because you're going to get him tomorrow.
Can I play something real quick to get
You can play whatever you want, buddy.
Courtesy of McNeil.
He squares to bunt, safety bunt. Coming home with it, backhanded flip. The tag on Rocchio. Not in time. He's in with a head-first slide. They pulled off a safety squeeze. And a beauty of a bunt by David Fry.
Taylor Bunce! Clue Haywood's yelling at the umpire. Do you want my favorite little Major League factoid on a Friday? So Wesley Snipes, who played Willie Mays Hayes.
Right.
He was a martial artist. He's like a Taekwondo guy or whatever. What was Mays Hayes' thing? He's supposed to be really fast, right? So they cast Wesley Snipes. They said he's one of the slowest human beings they've ever seen.
Not Blade.
To a point. Not Blade. To a point, they couldn't even make him look fast. So you will notice that every time he runs, it's in slow motion. Remember when he runs to make the team? Slow motion. Him coming home on the bunt by Jake Taylor, it's slow motion. Because they go, we can't even make him look fast. So we have to put every time he would steal, he was in slow motion. Even the one when he stole second to get in the position. They're like throwing. They're like, come on, Willie. And he's sliding. It's all slow motion because Wesley Snipes was so slow they couldn't make him look fast.
All right, Matt, one more thing. I got to listen to it. I got to listen to it.
The 2-2 delivery. Swung on. Hit a ton. Deep left. Green. Back. Track. Wall. Goal.
Bro, he pimped that.
David Fry.
Done and done.
Off the bench.
David Fry.
A 2-strike. 2-out. 2-run home run.
Comerica Park just diminished.
Oh, you felt
and
it.
Cleveland's
Leave.
back on top for the third time tonight. 4-3.
Wait, this line.
And what a welcoming crew outside the first base dugout. Guardians coming out to mob David Fry. And Comerica Park as silent as St. John's Cathedral on a Sunday morning in downtown Cleveland.
Let me do it, man. Let's go. Woo! We're back at home tomorrow. You get the benefit of batting second and all that. The crowd is going to be electric. Let's talk pitching. What do you do tomorrow?
Boyd.
You want to get crazy? You want to get nuts? Start Gavin Williams. You start Gavin
One
Williams.
inning?
2 at max. Huh?
Give him a look.
Then you turn it over to Boyd? I like that so much better than starting Boyd. I'm being dead serious in this. Gavin Williams had 1 start against the Tigers this year, and he pitched really well in it. You have not, correct me if I'm wrong, we've not seen Gavin Williams. They've not seen him in this series. I think they've seen everybody else.
Right.
I think you throw Big Rig here. I think you throw him tomorrow. And, dude, and I don't know if you tell him this when he goes out there or if this is just something with Carl Willis and Stephen Vogt. You put Gavin Williams out there tomorrow and you say somebody reaches second base, you're done. You're done. Now, your fear is home runs and things like that. But I also look at that lineup, and yeah, they've cranked a little bit. And oh, God, who hit that one yesterday? He was plus 1,100. Oh, McKinstry.
Oh,
that's what it was. Yeah. Zach McKinstry. That's what. He was plus 1,100 in home run. You know, that's not a guy you expect. You throw Gavin Williams tomorrow under 2 rules. Somebody reaches second base, you're done, and you will not see the second rotation of that lineup. You will not go through that lineup a second time. Then you're afforded to go back over to Matthew Boyd, who, again, dominated there on Monday, watched it myself, and you could get him through a couple of innings before you get to your bullpen and you lay it all out. Off day today, giant eraser. Smith, Heron, Gaddis, and Classy will be ready to go. I like that for tomorrow, man. I really like the idea of throwing Gavin Williams. And if you wanted to flip it and say we're going to start Boyd and then having Gavin Williams kind of right there ready to go, I don't know why, man. I really like starting Gavin. We're going to ask Jensen about that coming up at 10 o'clock. But I like the idea of throwing Gavin and then you got Boyd right there waiting for him. I seriously, I would almost have it where you start the game and going into the second inning, you already have Boyd like, dude, start warming up. Start warming up, because at worst, you're going to come in here in the 3rd, 4th inning. Gavin gives you 1, 2. Boyd gets you to the 6th or something like that. But you still got to score. You still have got to score. And I think for even the Fry home run, which was massive, the Guardians were able to manufacture some runs as well. And there were hits, and I know Comerica is much bigger than Progressive Field.
It's huge, man.
But, dude, it's so big. It is so big. A lot of outfield out there. And you saw some gappers. You saw some guys with just those nice, easy, back up the middle swings. And Stephen Vogt spoke so much about that this season, where he was talking about Josh Naylor and Jose Ramirez, and goes, these guys are not home run hitters. They're good hitters that happen to hit home runs. They're not up there swinging for the fences. They're swinging for doubles, and sometimes they get a hold of one. Jose, twice was close to doing it. Josh Naylor bomb tomorrow would be so nice.
Yeah.
Josh Naylor would be so nice, man.
Not too many negatives right now for the Guards, other than Josh Naylor, unfortunately, decides to swing at every first pitch, and then Andres Jimenez needs to step up, and then
Andres Jimenez, dude, he needs this day off. I don't know what he needs to do. Sleep in late, get to the cages. Andres Jimenez up here. And the thing is, here's the conversation that I'm sure Vogt's going to have with him. Going, we need you. We need you. You know, your glove, second to none. But we're just going to just take the pressure off you. You're going to bat 7th in this lineup. It's okay. But Jimenez at the plate is lost right now. It's not good. And I'm not talking about you cannot take him out of the lineup. You have got to have him out there defensively. But, you know, him, if you want to look at John Ken's, you know, well, how that's kind of fallen off a little bit. Okay, sure, fine. It's going to come down to 5 guys. It's going to come down to five position players. You know the 5. Quan, Lane Thomas, Jose Ramirez. I'm going to give you Josh Naylor because you're going to need him. And then give me,
baby.
What's that?
Rocchio, baby.
I was going to say Rocchio or Andres Jimenez. You're going to need one of those guys. You're not getting anything from Bo Naylor right now, which is fine. I think you start Austin Hedges in a game like this where it might come down to defense, calling that game.
If it's an automatic out regardless.
Hedges, exactly. Go with Hedges tomorrow at your catcher spot. Everything else is pretty locked. but it's going to come back to some decisions in the game too. And again, today's a day of positivity. I'm not being negative about it. I think Stephen Vogt has learned a lot through these couple of games, okay? And I'm still, like, again, I feel great. I'm not going to give him that pass for Wednesday. I'm just not, okay? You cannot do that stuff. Because I think when you pinch it for guys in the second inning, you set a bad tone for that game. Now, your comeback is what? Bro, you were facing... Nobody was able to hit, right? Nobody in that game really felt like they were going to get a piece of it. But all the changes of taking Brennan out, Manzardo, and all this other kind of stuff, I think he got a little caught up in it. Now, what he can do to better prepare himself for this game tomorrow is also going to be vitally important on how they're going to handle this. And it's going to be the same thing. You got to score first. I think getting on the board first to get the energy back in the stadium, to take a little pressure off of that is going to be massive. Now, again, you're facing Tariq Skubal on extra rest, right? Skubal pitched what, Monday?
That's normal rest, I think. Or no, Friday would have been normal. So yeah,
Friday would have been normal. So you got one extra day. And trust me, he's riding high. He's gone through this playoffs being unhittable. I don't know if he can do it again.
I hope not.
I hope not. You know, they didn't see him all that much in the regular season. Then you get a game against him. Does that help you with your game plan? Does that help you with your approach to get ready for tomorrow? It has to. Now, the thing is, he's filthy. He is nasty out there right now. So, again, you have the better lineup. I think even when you, again, it is the craziest thing. Like, I'll take a shot at Matt Verlaine. I will take a shot at Riley Green, everybody. We have what should be the better lineup. You're going to have to score. And I'm going to like it for a little anti-nerfy tomorrow. I think Guardians score in the first inning. I think the Guardians are able to score in that first inning. Get Quan on, steal a base, something like that, and we'll be ready to go. Yesterday, the bullpen usage, though, was something that you got to give credit for Vogt of throwing Hunter Gaddis back out there, okay? And it wasn't like Gaddis got shelled, per se. You know, he gave up the run, but to say, this is basically the bed that we have made, and you're going to ask him to go back out there and throw a pretty big inning. Or no, it was Cade Smith that gave it up.
Well, it was earned. Hunter gave it up, but it was credited to
it was Cade because he came the runner on. That's right. That's what that was. So to have Hunter Gaddis come back out there, you only had Heron have to throw 7 pitches.
Yeah.
You know, all these guys would be ready to go. But 26 pitches for Cade Smith. You had 32 for Gaddis. Those might be the two that you're looking at. But again, Clase should be ready to go. He only threw 16 pitches yesterday and got out of there with that save. Inning and 2/3.
Save, baby.
You know. And the thing is, people were also really critical about this on Wednesday and even a little bit yesterday. The approach at the plate for the Guardians, right? Are you working counts? Are you getting these pitch counts up? And that might be the thing you have got to do for Tariq Skubal. He's going to plaster that strike zone. Work it. Get his pitch count up. Get A.J. Hinch thinking about going to that bullpen early. See, but I say that, and you want to know what A.J. Hinch just knows? We're going to ride Tariq Skubal through the 6th inning no matter what. Yep. Got to work that count. You're going to have to work that count.
Get that through Josh Naylor's head.
Let's go. He's swinging at first, like you say, swinging at a lot of first pitches. And I think that's a lot of tension that's built up with this team, and they're up there, they're sawing those bats, and they're ready to go. But now you feel like you're in a good spot.
And
you
man,
feel like you just the weight off the shoulder. Now, the weight's coming right back on. You're in a do-or-die Game 5. You're at home, and you're facing the Cy Young winner for the league this year. Yeah. Pressure is back on. But it's just those little things. Sometimes, you know, in basketball, we talk about with betting, right? You just need one to go through. You just need to see one go through. And some of those guys yesterday to just see a little bit go through. Rocchio, have a couple go through. 3 for 5 for Stephen Kwan.
And dude, that 2-out single that led to that David Fry home run. I mean, Stephen Kwan talked about it post game. He's so good at just staying within himself, right? That single, he talked about it. You have to trust your teammate behind you. All I have to do is get on base.
Yep.
I'm the game winning run, and you let David Fry do the rest, and that's exactly how it played out.
You talk about passing it off. That's something you saw us talking baseball. Pass it on to the next guy. Just get up there, get on base, turn it over to the next guy. Everybody foul that, and you're good to go. Every guy that took to the plate for the Guardians had a hit yesterday, except for Andres Jimenez and the catching position. You went Naylor, John Kenzie, Hedges got one at bat. That's a winning recipe. When 7 out of your 9 guys are getting hits, and a lot of times it was back-to-back hits. Yes. I didn't do that math or remember, but I feel like we had like 4 or 5 times we had back-to-back hits. Now, we didn't always capitalize on those, but when you get guys to second base, you start turning those wheels for the pitcher and for A.J. Hinch. Those are the scary things, is when you get guys to second base and you put a little bit on. Then there were even some remarkable defensive plays.
Yes.
When Colt Keith stole that one.
Man, did Andres need that to go through.
He needed that one bad. That's a hit like 8 out of 10 times, man. And that was a hell of a defensive play there. Yeah. But feeling good, just putting the ball in play. I was thinking about this too, about that game. You know, in the excitement of that game. And have we not been so blessed with some of these type of games over the run of the Guardians playoffs, the last decade plus? You know, you talk about that Blue Jay series in 2016. You talk about the World Series, Oscar Gonzalez going yard. That kind of stuff is just the magic. And listen, I think we're going to win tomorrow. I'm going to be rooting as hard as anybody for it to get done. But it is undeniable how much fun this is and how much we have to thank the Guardians for this magic run. It ain't over. It's far from over. And we're winning tomorrow. I know that. But don't ever take this for granted, man. You could be lowly teams that haven't even made the playoffs in decades. And we're sitting here with all this fun and all this excitement. Tickets are already through the roof, man. It's $200. $200 yesterday just to get in.
I can't tell you how excited I am for the Lakewood Truck Park Saturday with Jensen Lewis. Like,
again,
it's
6
going
o'clock
to be
starting tomorrow.
And it was, I mean, you can take it for what you will. I know some people want to play the Yankees. You want to take down the Empire. Some people want to see the Royals win. But the Yankees winning made it so the Guardians got pushed back to 8. So we're going to be live 6 to 8 at the Lakewood Truck Park. And it's going to be an absolute blast.
They have multiple TVs. They'll have the Ohio State game on. Yes. Don't worry. I actually ordered a Roku. My wife goes, "Why did you order a Roku?" And I go, "Honey, I'm going to need 2 TVs in the basement Saturday night. I need a Roku. We got to get set up here on this." But yeah, I got a lot of those tweets. What about Ohio State? Trust me, Saturday's a big day for Ohio State. I will sacrifice an Ohio State win for Oregon for a Guardians win over the Tigers.
If you're not going to the game, no excuse to not get down to Lakewood Truck Park.
No, that's it. They got plenty of TVs. Lipton Hard Iced Tea will be there. The Garage Beer, it's going to be there. So it's going to be Jensen, Padone, Ryan will be there. I might make a special appearance. You never know. You never know what's going to happen at Lakewood Truck Park. You know where I'm going.
I think we're trying, and I also think we're gonna. I also think we're planning on getting either Bobby or Schlex to talk some Ohio State for a segment too.
Oh yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. You know what I'm looking up right now, buddy?
What food trucks there? Yesterday was Cleveland Chicken.
Cleveland Chicken. Let's go. Tomorrow, you want to get there really early. 11 a.m. Pastimes Cafe. Perla. Smoking rock and roll. Shout out to Billy Morris and crew. Then in the evening, when we're going to be there mostly, you will have Brothers and Feed My Belly from 4 to 11 tomorrow.
Sounds good to me.
What's Brothers got cooking for me here, buddy? I want to find here. Menu? We got that? No, that's just all the beers. That's a whoo. Let's go. Let's go. We'll be there. Truck Park, 6 o'clock tomorrow. It's going to be awesome. Dude, so great, man. This is what you live for. This is where it's at. This is where memories are made. I'm already telling my wife, sorry, son's going to have to stay up for this.
I just want to one more time just talk about how special that David Fry home run was. Like, for a guy who just sits, for a guy like David Fry, who, you know, comes in for pinch hitting scenarios, to be ready for an entire game, never know when you're going to come in the game. Like, especially at this series, given we saw pinch hitters in the second inning, Matt, to be able to come in that spot, stay ready, and absolutely bomb that pitch, man, that takes a lot.
I mean, let's talk about this season for David Fry. He is 28 years old.
There's an argument, Matt, to be said that David Fry might be the most clutch player in that Indians lineup, Guardians lineup.
Okay, I thought, remember Josh Naylor?
The clutch hits he's had this season alone.
That is now David Fry. There was times with Josh Naylor that he just had that sense, that sixth sense, that hitting home runs when it's clutch. That is now David Fry, who at 28 years old made his major league debut a year ago, went to the All-Star game. He was a 7th-round draft pick for the Brewers and was picked up for J.C. Mejia, who got thrown out of baseball.
Not only that, he was a player to be named later in that trade.
That was like, where did this guy come from, right? And now, I ain't telling David Fry what to do. You know where he's from? Irving, Texas. I'm sure he's got a house there. David Fry, go ahead and plant your roots here in Cleveland. You'll never buy another drink in this town. You have now entered that realm of, is he Jose Ramirez? No. Is he Shane Bieber? No. But he's David Fry. And that's what, like, I just think about when we had Rajay on the Big Play Cleveland show last week, right? Like, there are just guys that mean a little bit something to us here in this town. David Fry is now in. David Fry is now in. He's that guy. And you see the closeness of this team. You see these guys playing for one another. And it's something not to get like sappy or talk about major. Everybody go watch Major League today, by the way. It's on Max. I'd give my password out here for everybody, but we all know how that would go.
Know that.
What's that?
I didn't know it was on Max.
It's on Max? Okay. Because I looked this up. Do you want to know where Major League is streaming at the moment?
Yes.
Okay. Hang on. Major League Film. Okay. Oh, my God. Okay. I just want the first one. The other ones all sucked ass, okay? Okay. Watch movie. Here we are. So it is streaming on Max. You can get on Amazon Prime for a premium subscription. Same thing with YouTube TV, Hulu, or you can rent it from Fandango, Google, or Apple for $4. It'll be on HBO Comedy on Monday. We ain't waiting until Monday. Or you could do what I'm going to do. I've got a DVD because I'm a physical media kind of guy, and I will go home and watch Major League tonight with my son no matter what. That's how that's going to go. Everybody watch Major League today. But to, talk about the closeness, like this is a team, you don't just look at Jose Ramirez. The Yankees, they look to Juan Soto. They look to Aaron Judge, okay? This team knows every single guy that steps up has a job. Every single guy has got to step up to that plate. Yes, you want to be led by Jose Ramirez. You want to be led by Josh Naylor and Steven Kwan. But this team knows every single guy is important. So that way, when you get a win like you do yesterday, everybody feels involved. Everybody feels like I played a part in this. And even guys that weren't hitting or weren't a part of it, okay, fine. You still feel like you contributed. So guys are going to show up, be ready for tomorrow. I got to do my job. Lane Thomas's job is different than Jose Ramirez. Brian Rocchio's job is going to be different than Steven Kwan's. Just do your job. Just do your job. For tomorrow, and I thought about this as our Twitter question. I'll leave it up to you. You looking at the pitching or the players tomorrow? Position players are pitching tomorrow. Because I'm all on this. Who's starting me? Who's starting right now? And that's going to, who you're facing. You know who you got. And you could say it's going to be on the position players because you're going to have to squeak out some runs against Tarek, sorry. I don't want to disrespect the guy. I want to give him no ammo for tomorrow. Tarek Skubal. That's who you got to face tomorrow. I'm looking at the pitching, though. I'm looking at what Stephen Vogt is going to do here. Okay. This is a text message that I got. Do you start Cade Smith? Do you come out? You can't start Clase. You can't do that.
No, I'm not starting Cade Smith.
But can you throw a guy like
also
Cade Smith or Hunter Gaddis? Hunter Gaddis is a former starter. Just to get you through a few innings. Now, you burn them for later. But just to calm the storm, to start it out. And especially if you can score some runs, I don't think so. I don't think so. And we know the leash is going to be short on these guys. I'm going to throw them something they haven't seen yet. I'm throwing Gavin Williams.
To me,
that's it for me. I'm throwing him Gavin Williams.
I wouldn't start Cade Smith. I think that's something along the lines of we know you're at home. You had one of the best records made best home record in AL in whole Major League Baseball. I understand you're going against Tariq Skubal. I understand you're trying to pull out all the stops, trying to trick AJ Hinch. But at the end of the day, you're the better team. I understand you're going against Cy Young, but you got to keep doing what you've done this whole season.
Yeah.
And if it's start Matthew Boyd, if it's start Gavin Williams for an inning, whatever. I'm saving Cade. I'm saving Hunter for the back half.
No, and that's the other thing. Going back to what I was talking about on Wednesday about kind of setting the tone, and sometimes you can make your guys a little bit nervous. I'd feel different about it if that was like the plan, but you want to save those guys for when you need them. And that's what you're seeing a lot in the playoffs right now is you're trying to avoid what you think is going to happen the next inning. Because if you're reactive, you're fried, right? If you're reactive to what happens, if you already go down a couple of runs, it almost doesn't seem like it matters when you're throwing Cade Smith, right? Like you're putting your guys in this position specifically about the bullpen to avoid what you think is going to happen or avoid what you think this next inning is going to be. And what part of the lineup are you facing and all that kind of stuff. So we'll have to see. The only thing that's just right here in my mind, Kerry Carpenter twisted his ankle yesterday.
Oh, is it his ankle or did he pull his hammy?
It looked like he twisted his ankle.
I think he pulled his hamstring.
Oh, he pulled his hammy.
I think.
All right.
Honestly, anybody in the chat, let me know, honestly, because
I thought it was just Google that quick. Here's what I thought. I thought he twisted his ankle coming around third. No, it was his left hamstring. You're right. It was his left hamstring. Sorry. I don't know. I thought he just twisted his ankle coming around third. All right. Okay. That's a big bat in that lineup for them. That's a change for them. That's a little thing that they're going to have to overcome because I don't think you're going to see Kerry Carpenter tomorrow. I don't think you're going to see him. Now, do they still have guys that can hit and all that other kind of stuff? For sure. But that's a big bat that they're going to be missing and a big change for them in that lineup. So, all right, plenty of baseball, plenty to get to as we roll on.
Real quick, want to plug one more time. Just about 1 more hour to enter for that free shirt.
Yes, let me go do it right now. at Fontana Show. Here's what you got to do. Retweet the tweet, and you'll be entered for your chance to win. You got to be following us. That's it. I just hit the repost on that. We will pick our winner at the end of the show as we get going on. So, again, we got plenty of baseball. We'll continue on. Guardians, awesome. Cavs, preseason, all right. Good. And then there's the Cleveland Browns. So we get to Sunday, and what this game is going to mean for Amari Cooper trying to set aside the trade thing for the video that we all saw from Warren Sharp yesterday about just frankly how bad Deshaun Watson has been. If you didn't see the clip from Warren Sharp, and we had Warren on before the season, and he said, hey, there's concern here with Deshaun Watson. You want to pull that clip up quick?
Yeah.
All right. So Warren, who runs all the stats, runs all the analytics, he told us before the season, got to watch out for this Deshaun Watson situation. Beyond that, he looked at our first 5 games, that you are 1-4. And he very unfortunately...
Warren gave you a retweet.
Yeah. He gave me the retweet on that because he knows what we're talking about. Because this is exactly what we've been talking about. And he said it's not just about what Deshaun Watson's been doing himself. There's a little piece about who he's been facing. The news is not good. And as the pressure starts to mount about what the Browns are going to do at quarterback, there's something else, another factor in this whole thing. Here's Warren Sharp, Sharp Football Analysis. Head out to his website. Here's Warren talking about who the Browns have faced through the first 5 games.
I am sick and tired of people saying they want Deshaun Watson benched. Yes, we know he's been the single worst quarterback in modern history through 5 weeks. But what you don't know is that he's delivered this disturbingly horrific production against the NFL's easiest schedule of pass defenses. The number one easiest. Every single pass defense he's played ranks 19th or worst. I mean, the toughest defense he's played against the pass is the Raiders. The same Raiders who allowed Andy Dalton to roll off of his couch and throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns in his first start with the Laughingstock Panthers. The same Raiders who allowed rookie Bo Nix to throw for over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns against them. That's the best pass defense Deshaun Watson has played, and he's still the worst quarterback in history. So why don't I want him benched? Because I'm dying to watch the train wreck that's going to take place when Watson finally plays a competent pass defense. Look at this schedule coming up for the Browns. Gaze upon this thing. How incredible will it be to watch Watson go up against pass defenses like the Steelers and Broncos and Chiefs and Ravens? If he's a bumbling fool against the easiest schedule, for once in our life, let's just see how epic this can get. Don't walk out in the middle of the movie. We need to see how this horror film ends.
That's crazy.
We need to see how this horror film ends, is what he says. The thing is, and you saw in that graph, the Eagles are not some world-beating defense either when it comes to stopping the pass. So here's yet another example for him to be able to go out there and try to formulate something. We are 9-point dogs on Sunday. 9. Can we just talk guards? Like, oh, man. What are we going to do? Seriously, what are we going to do? You got Amari Cooper fighting off this trade stuff. What have we heard all week? What's been a big debate topic this week? Something I thought about talking about yesterday. We didn't have a show, but here we are. Would you attach a first-round pick to get rid of Deshaun Watson? Would you ask some team to come take his contract and give them a first-round pick with it? You already been out 3. What's one more? What's one more that you might need to go draft your quarterback of the future? You paid $20 million of Brock Osweiler's contract to get a second-round pick. Think somebody's going to take on 90? More than that? I doubt it. That's how bad this has gotten. I don't even think a team would show up and take a first-round pick from you to take Deshaun Watson off of your hands. That's the situation that we're in. That's where we're at with this team getting ready to go for Sunday. All these questions about who's calling plays or what this scheme looks like. What is the turn now for the Cleveland Browns? What is their twist? What you've been doing ain't working. What's your twist going to be? What's your injury status for Sunday? Are we going to have Denzel Ward? I doubt it. Now, dude, there's nobody left to play safety. Grant Delpit's missed 2 practices, and now so's Ronnie Hickman.
And James Hudson just got surgery.
And James Hudson's done for the year. Anybody out there play safety? Call Tyvis Powell. Maybe we need Tyvis. Gonna need something. You got no safeties for this game. It's you're playing bad. You've got no flow, and now you are going to continue to miss big pieces of your defense, and your offense is still who the hell's playing tackle. What the fuck's going on around here? The groundswell's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. And there's only one thing for the Cleveland Browns to do, and that is to try to get Deshaun Watson to play competent football. You saw it on Warren's grid. You got 2 games up against subpar passing defenses before you got to run the gauntlet. And you have not shown anything. You've shown nothing in a pass game against the worst opening stretch in the NFL against pass defenses. Defenses that got carved up by quarterbacks that you'd laugh at. Carved up by quarterbacks that you would sit there and say, man, we'd really be screwed if that guy was our quarterback. They are doing things that Deshaun Watson couldn't even do. Here we are. And I know the playoff percentage is near nothing. You fall to 1-5. You're on the road, whatever. And all that under 2. You got to win this freaking game. You got to win this game. The Eagles are laughing at the idea of playing the Browns this weekend. They're laughing at the opportunity to play us. Sad state of affairs, man. It's not good for the Browns right now. Not good as the Friday report card. Let's take a look. Let's get to know the Eagles just a little bit. All right, here we come on in with the 2-2 Philadelphia Eagles. Fresh off of their bye, had some guys, A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith battling some injuries. They should be ready to go. Coming in at 2-2, they started the season with a nice 5-point win over the Packers, a close loss to the Falcons, a scrappy 15-12 win over the Saints, and then frankly got smoked by the Buccaneers
that was
2 weeks ago before they hit their bye. So the one thing, okay, they scored 34 in their opener. Then just 21, then just 15, then just 16. So you talk a lot about the Browns and this streak that they're on about, oh, they haven't scored 20 points, they haven't done any of this other stuff. Well, it's not like that Eagles offense, even with all the players that they got, they're not some Patrick Mahomes type of offense either. There's something to be said about that. Defensively, we're going to talk a lot about the secondary in this defense, talking about the Eagles. We'll get to that in just a second. But we start with the quarterbacks. Jalen Hurts taking on Deshaun Watson. Here's something I picked up this morning from Dogs by Nature. So they always do their, NFL, their preview, talking about what the Eagles got. And I got it this morning from Chris Picorni wrote this. And coming out of Philly, Jalen Hurts cannot stop turning the football over. He has 27 giveaways in his last 22 games played. And in this season, he is leading the NFL in turnover-worthy rate, as defined by Pro Football Focus. The defense has been excellent in 4 tries. The talent seems to be, or the talent issue, though, is on that side of the ball, right? Offensively, shouldn't be a talent thing. I know, again, Devontae Smith's been banged up, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert. They get Lane Johnson back, which is really going to be big. Saquon Barkley is still a beast. But it kind of comes back to the engine driving the whole thing here. It's Jalen Hurts. You should be able to get takeaways from him. You're going to have an opportunity for at least a couple of interceptions. The problem is, I've got no faith that Denzel Ward's going to play in this game, and he seems to be the only guy in the defense that gets his hands on the freaking ball.
And another thing, too, Jalen Hurts might only have to throw the ball 20 times between Saquon Barkley, who's likely to have a day. Also, you saw what Jaden Daniels was able to do to this defense. Well, Jalen Hurts been doing that to defenses for 4 years now.
The Eagles, talking about the 9-point spread that it is, they have not beaten an opponent in almost a calendar year by 9 points. They go back to October 22nd of last year as the last time that they would have covered a spread of 8.5 or greater. And they're also just 3-8 in their last 11 games. You know the collapse they had last year? It's kind of bled over here. The drama with Nick Sirianni. But we're just talking about the quarterbacks right now. Jalen Hurts having a little moment, I guess. Now, the problem is, do you know what they're saying in Philly? Here's your get-right game, Jalen. Here's your get-right game. Myles Garrett's banged up, so what? You want to know why? He's going to have to go up against Jordan Mailata. And that guy is a hulking human being. That might be problems there for Myles. Now, Myles has been good about getting underneath those tall 6'8" type of tackles and getting low on the bend and getting there. But then you look at that secondary and you say, we should have a lot of advantages here. So I'm going to look at Jalen Hurts, but one of my plays for this weekend, I think he's going to throw a pick. I think he's going to have an interception at some point. Again, his last 22 games, he's had 27 giveaways. I think the Browns will get one Sunday.
Yeah, I would agree with you as well. I mean, Jalen Hurts has been not like ever since that 2022 season where he nearly would have won MVP if he didn't get injured. I mean, he's been on a steady decline, but I wonder, how much of it is him, how much of it is the coaching staff. They just seem to be dysfunctional there. I mean, you talk about those articles with Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni, how they're not getting along, and I think this is certainly Nick Sirianni's last year in Philly if they don't at least make the NFC Championship. And the talent's there, like you said. They're one of the most talented teams on paper, but it's going to be an uphill battle for the Browns. They're not playing their best football. I'm talking about the Eagles, but the Browns are playing their worst football.
Absolutely. Talking about that talent, let's take a look at the rest of the team on the Friday report card. We start with head coach, the only one for the Browns. And it's got to be because Nick Sirianni's on the hot seat.
He's a joke.
And now that Saleh is out, we didn't get a chance to talk about that yesterday. Saleh out. Now you look at like Doug Peterson, but Nick Sirianni is close to that list.
Yep.
And I do think in the NFL, once one coach is fired, that gets other teams starting to think about it too. And they're just like, all right, the lid is off this now. It's in the idea there of Howie Roseman and crew there with Philly. They're thinking about it. Nick Sirianni, I just think he's a I don't cover him. I have no idea. But just the reading, it sounds like he has a really brash personality.
No, he does.
Then he got put in his place, and he takes a step back, and that's almost like worse. You almost want your coach just to be your coach. If he's a brash a-hole, then let him be a brash a-hole. The issue is Jalen Hurts doesn't like him, and they're always going to be at the side of their franchise quarterback. There's a disconnect there. Say what you want about Kevin Stefanski or whatever. I think he has good connections with his players. Now, he's not getting Deshaun Watson to play all that well, but I don't see a disconnect like you do with this team right here. And for the Eagles, again, seeing how Sunday will go, maybe a big win there, but they're just going to be on this tightrope for the rest of the year. That's playing tight. That's playing hard. And I don't know if I would like the situation Nick Sirianni is in, so we'll clearly give the edge here to Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah, I mean, you can say all you want about Kevin Stefanski. I know on this show, you still believe he's a great coach. The proof is in the pudding. We've seen it with him. And Nick Sirianni, I think for sure this will be his last season. They'll hand it over to, I assume, Vic Fangio, their defensive coordinator.
Yeah, but no, I mean, in the interim, if they fired him tomorrow, you're probably going with Fangio.
Yeah.
And then you open the floodgates of Clint
Kellen
Kubiak, Ben Johnson, all the other hot names that you get to in the offseason. I don't think they'll hold anybody over. They'll just give him that job. Like Ulbricht's got that job now for the Jets, but they'll open that up after the season. They'll do the same thing as Antonio Pierce.
Right.
Hey, he was the interim. We're not going to remove that tag. He's in the pool of interviewees, but we want to talk to some other people too.
Yep.
You know the guy. Everybody's going to be screaming for to go there.
Vrabel.
Yeah, all that.
Belichick.
And Belichick. And that seemed like a good spot for one Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
That seems like a pretty good spot for him.
You know what?
Doesn't it?
I'm going Ben Johnson. With all that offensive
talent.
talent?
I would too. He's
gonna,
he's going to get a job. He's there. And you're talking about both the Lions in a way are funny. They're the new Eagles. When Steichen and Gannon got poached, that's going to be the Lions. Aaron Glenn's going to get a job, and so is Ben Johnson. That's the other thing, man. You look at the Eagles right there. They lost Steichen again. There's nothing you can do about that. And they've really had nothing since. So that questions things about Nick Sirianni. You know what I'm saying? Like, you sit there and you go, was it them or was it you? Whatever. But that's where we're at from the coaching staff. This one ain't even close, buddy. You got A.J. Brown. You've got Devontae Smith. You have Jahan Dotson. You have Dallas Goedert. This is so... which is crazy because we'll get to the one that's even bigger next. The gap on these wide receivers and tight ends to what we have right now, massive.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Absolutely
not
massive.
even close.
It's not
A.J.
even
Brown's
close.
been a top 6
Not even
receiver
close.
ever. Quite frankly, since it's like second year in the league, Devontae Smith is very good, and you saw them both rewarded with contracts this offseason. Acquired Jahan Dotson. I mean, it's. I have no other words than to say.
A plethora of riches.
It's not even.
Plethora of riches.
Not even close.
Not even close. To the offensive line, we go. Oh, I'm sorry, we skipped the one that's not even. Did you say?
I mean, what are we going to say? What are we going to say?
What are we going to do here,
Saquon
man?
Barkley right now is the favorite to win Offensive Player of the Year. He's been an absolute animal, and quite frankly, he's carried the Eagles to their 2 wins. And if he caught that one pass, it would have been their 3rd win.
I'll give you that
opener.
one.
What?
Carried them. I'll give it to you. That's all right.
Didn't even mean it like
That's
that.
all right. Okay, he's a running back. It is what it is. It's one of those moves that we obviously have a sample size of it now, but even when it was made, everybody goes, that should be illegal, man. That's like McCaffrey going to the 49ers. That should be illegal. You shouldn't be able to do that. That guy inserting himself into this offense, that shouldn't be right. But yeah, Saquon Barkley is the 8th highest rated running back on PFF. Now, it's that low because other guys played this last week and he hasn't. He's been a beast, not only running the football, but as we knew when he would get there, he's been great out of the backfield as well. Obviously not as good, on the running side of it, but they're moving him around. They get him out there a little bit. You get the ball in his hands and you know that he could take. Like, seriously, you say that about Smith. You say that about A.J. Brown. Goddard, who slashed these defenses for 30 and 40-yard plays all of a sudden. And then you add Saquon Barkley. They got 4 guys. I feel like almost anytime they touch the football, they could take it to the house. Maybe not Goddard so much, but they got big play guys. They have some big plays over there to be had. So this one's not even
you're going to get on me for saying
What?
carry when you just said they got some big play guys.
I'm not even talking about us at big play,
Okay.
Ryan. We have some big play people here, too.
Okay.
All right? But, yeah, they absolutely do. This is the best offensive line in football. Best offensive line in football.
I assume Lane Johnson will be back from the concussion.
Yeah, he's
Not
good to
even
go.
Close.
You know the number 3 and 4 rated tackles on Pro Football Focus? Jordan Mailata, Lane Johnson.
Oh, did I say Lane Thomas?
I think you did, but that's okay.
Got the guards on the mind.
That's as you should. Landon Dickerson's great.
The dude I was listening on the radio for the first few innings. The dude, I don't know his name, kept saying Lance Thomas. I'm like, stop.
What, like the national broadcast?
No, ESPN radio.
Oh, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, the national one. Not Ham. Not
No,
Ham and
no,
Rosie.
no,
No, the national one. Let's just start. Interior-wise, Mekhi Becton, who's all of a sudden had like a real career resurgence there for the Eagles because they can hide him. He's their worst offensive lineman. He's still a top 20 guard in the NFL right now. Cam Jurgens is their center. He's pretty good. We used to have this accolade, without a doubt, the Eagles boast the best offensive line in football, which is also a little crazy when you talk about Jalen Hurts and all of his, worthy turnovers and things like that. This season, he has been sacked 13 times through 4 games. So that's telling you should be able to get to him at least 3 times. So as good as I sit there and say the offensive line is on paper, they've given up sacks. Now, a lot of those sometimes, too, are sacks where he's running and he's still behind the line and it gets credited as a sack. But still, defense has been able to get after him, but still, it's probably the best offensive line in football that we'll be facing.
Is this the last game that Mike Hall misses? Is he eligible?
He's allowed to play.
Right, okay.
He's allowed to play. If Stefanski activates him, which he said he wanted to see him in the week of practice, he's good. He
was
can
a
play.
4-game suspension?
It was 5. We played 5. So what happened
This will
was...
be the 5th.
No, we're 1-4. We've played 5 games. It was week 6
That's
already,
my bad.
buddy.
I put week 5 on here because I missed last week. Because I missed the show last week.
Good.
I forgot.
Okay. We're week 6.
You're right.
So what happened, like Hall, was he missed 4 games on the exempt list. They came out with the suspension and said we're going to add 1 more game. That was last week. Mike Hall can play if the Browns choose to let him play. And Stefanski said this week he just needed to see what he had in practice.
Right.
So Mike Hall might be ready to go. We'll see. But you got other guys missing. You got other guys injured. We'll see how it goes. Defensively, here's the crazy thing about the Philly defense and the Browns defense. Statistically, we are very close. They give up 24 points per game. We give up 24.2. They're like 2 spots ahead of us in passing yards, or rushing yards, excuse me. They're only a couple of spots ahead of us in passing yards. The difference is when you look at some of the names, right? You're going to have to block Jalen Carter, who's just been an absolute game wrecker so far for the Eagles. You still have Bryce Huff. You still got to deal with Josh Sweat on the other side.
Bryce Huff hasn't done anything
No,
this
that's
season.
true. He's been pretty bad. You're right. He's not been, but you're still somebody going to have to deal with. Then they've had some changes of what we have to watch for this secondary. So number 1, Darius Slay is their number 1 corner. And again, not having a great year, but he's still Darius Slay.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson's ass.
He's bad. He's safety. He's their worst secondary player by far. Quinyon Mitchell, though, has been a really great find for them at the other cornerback spot out of Toledo. They've been really happy with him. What we're going to watch on Sunday, though, is Cooper DeJean, the corner out of Iowa, white boy, out of Iowa. He is going to take over that corner slot. Vontae Maddox lost that job. He was their starting nickel corner. Sounds like they're going to flip and get Cooper DeJean in there. He only has 4 snaps all year on defense, but it sounds like it's going to be him to watch for this game coming in. Then you talk about the safeties. Reed Blankenship, 2 interceptions. He is actually their highest graded defender as that free safety spot. You mentioned C.J. Gardner-Johnson's not great. And their linebackers, they just had to cut Devin White because they can't even play. They're going with Zach Bond. They got Nakobe Dean. Not all that great. Their pressure's going to come from really interior with Jalen Carter, which, dude.
Wouldn't that be nice to have an interior D lineman to do that?
Well, the other thing, hey, Zach Zinter, good luck. Like, Jalen Carter just wrecks games. Absolutely wrecks games. And he's going to be going up against a rookie right guard who has been struggling so far. Then you talk about Milton Williams, another guy that you got to watch out for on that defensive line. Again, Browns defense, I think this would be different if we felt a little bit better about the Browns injury situation, right? Because right now, let me see if I make sure I can pull this up here real quick. Here's the injury report, okay? 2 straight days of DNPs for Grant Delpit. 2 straight days of DNPs for Ronnie Hickman. Hudson, we know, out. Ethan Posick, 2 straight days of DNPs, and also Denzel Ward. So at this point, I'm going to operate that you're not having Denzel Ward, you're not going to have Ronnie Hickman, and you're not going to have Grant Delpit. You have no one left to play safety. You have Rodney McLeod, right? That's it at this point.
Isn't he hurt?
Is he not hurt? I was thinking that. I know Juan Thornhill is on IR. Is not Rodney McLeod out too?
No, he is. I know. Yeah, he didn't play last week.
I think he's out.
He didn't play last week, I don't think.
Hang on. right? Is he out? I think he is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is.
No, okay, so he had a face laceration.
That's what it was.
Hang on.
Oh, yeah, he got that last game. He did play last game.
He played, but then he got the face laceration. But he was not on the injury report.
Okay,
So he should be good to go. You want to know the other thing about the Eagles? They didn't have a single guy. They only had one guy even limited this week, and it was Lane Johnson because he's got the concussion. I did it again, too. It was only Lane Johnson because he's coming through the concussion. So they have no injuries over there on the side of the Eagles that you're going to have to deal with coming up for this game. So it's going to be a tough one, man. It's going to be so hard for the Browns on Sunday.
Yeah, I think that's enough Browns today. I've had
Well,
enough.
too bad because we got to go to our picks later.
Oh, that's true.
But that's just one. That's just one because we'll run through the rest of the NFL. Took the L last night on Seattle. You know who's not taking the L tomorrow? The Guards! We got Jensen Lewis coming up in just a minute. Reminder, 6 o'clock tomorrow at the Lakewood Truck Park. Get over there. And I'll tell you this, get there early. Get there early because it's going to fill up pretty fast over there at Lakewood Truck Park. They'll have all the TVs. Jensen will be there. Lipton Hard Iced Tea is going to be there. They got the TVs to watch Ohio State and the Guardians. You know, the audio. You know, that's the only important thing when you have two screens. What's the audio on? Audio will be on the Guardians. You know how that's going to go.
Oh, yeah.
But I have so many things I want to talk to with Jensen about this game tomorrow. And I'm going to come out right the gate and ask him, who would he start? You know, who would you go with? And I'm leaning Gavin Williams, knowing that you have a safety release a little bit in Matthew Boyd. And Boyd has been your best pitcher the last month plus. He really has. Since he has come back from that injury and been a part of our team, he has saved us, man. He's been your best pitcher. Do you start him? Do you start Gavin Williams? And what does that say to the rest of the team on how they feel about it? I also want to talk to Jensen about the approach for Skubal. How do you look at that when it's a guy that is that dirty, that is that filthy, but you've seen him before? And, of course, Jensen pitching in big playoff games at home, the importance of that. So we're going to talk to him coming up in a couple of minutes as we get ready to go for tomorrow. The other thing about where this has been at, and really the mental side of what I think yesterday was as well. Tigers thought they were done. They had it. And I know that they always do this, but I saw that from Nick Camino. They took all those tarps. They took all that plastic right out of that clubhouse. They rolled those. What do they do with that beer?
Yeah, but you got to put it down.
No, that is just a standard.
Right.
And do you want to know what they'll do tomorrow? They will have the beer tubs right in between the two clubhouses, and they will have plastic in both of those clubhouses. But do you see the mental flip that I'm talking about?
Yeah, man.
The Tigers watch that get rolled away from their clubhouse. Guardians show up tomorrow. They get to walk past it. Can I give just one ask to the great people at Progressive Field? The workers at Progressive Field. Can I get you an ask? Put that plastic right next to the door. Put it right next to the door. So every time, every player, when they show up tomorrow and they walk into that clubhouse, they walk past those rolls of Visqueen to know that's what we get to do after the game. Put that right next to that door so they see it walking into that clubhouse and they know it's on the line. That's, I think, the flip that you had.
Dude, I'm
with
so
that
excited.
game yesterday.
An 8 o'clock first pitch, dude. That's just so
I know a lot
awesome.
of people. I understand that there was a lot of people that wanted it to be a little bit earlier, so then that way they could watch Ohio State. Sorry about it. You got to watch both of them, and that's where we're at. Yeah, man. I'm just sorry because we obviously have not had a night game yet,
right?
So to have that. And to get the guys back in the that's weird. That's weird to play so many day games in a row when you play baseball and 80% of your games are at night.
And when we're talking about Ohio State versus Oregon,
You know, talk Buckeyes. We'll talk them later.
It's
Go Bucks.
It's good that this game doesn't mean it's a huge game, and I don't mean to take it away from it.
Playoff.
It's not as crucial to getting into the playoffs as it would have been.
No, and 100%. And I think again, you're going to have the divided attention on this and be able to watch both. But the excitement is this is like why you get geared up for as a sports fan. You know, this is why you get geared up as a sports fan to be able to be excited about night games, for playoff games, and all of it. We're certainly excited about it. We're excited for Lakewood Truck Park tomorrow. Jensen Lewis joins us right here on the show, getting ready to go for tomorrow. Jensen, we'll see there 6 o'clock tomorrow with Lipton Hard Iced Tea out there at Lakewood Truck Park. Jensen, you've been there a lot. What's your favorite food truck that you've run into out there?
Matty, honestly, great to be with you, buddy. And I don't think we have a favorite yet. It's been awesome every single day to have a little different flair. And I can't wait to see what we have tomorrow. But boy, oh boy, I know you're probably feeling it the same way I was watching it last night. It's so much more nerve-wracking for me on this side of it now instead of having an opportunity to pitch in those games. But I shared the emotion with the boys, and what a comeback win. I mean, so many different ways that game was going last night, a roller coaster of emotion. But here we are, big man. Tomorrow night can't get here quick enough.
Jensen, talk about that from the player standpoint. We know the playoffs are always emotional roller coasters, and a lot of times it's teams that handle that the best. As a player, put us all, where would you be at today? Is it, don't change what you normally do on your off day. Let's keep the same schedule. It's like, just walk us through that, what that would be like getting on the plane last night, coming back. Like, what do you think the players are doing today to get ready for tomorrow?
Yeah, a normal routine, right, Matt? And honestly, I think that's the best part is you get to come home, you get to kind of relax a little bit and have a day to gather yourself. They'll go through the workout, this afternoon and get some hacks on the field in the cage. Guys will throw some sides, just a little touch feel flat ground as far as the pitching staff goes. But yeah, really business as usual. And then, as you mentioned, finally a primetime game, and one in which I think it really shifts. We said it on our Big Play pregame show yesterday with Nick and Gab. I had said, the real difference for me is that, both offenses now don't have to contend with the shadows. And that was, I think, a major reason why Tarek Skubal had such an advantage. Now, credit where it's due. He was lights out. And once the shadows left, nothing really changed. But I think that's a difference in a winner-take-all game is now you have much more pressure as a starting pitcher to get off to a quick start. And offensively, I think there's some comfort, at least with where the hitters were. They had opportunities, Matt. I think that's what people are lost on is, hey, yeah, he was great. But there were a couple instances where that's a different stat line and a different feeling if you get a hit with runners in scoring position in those opportunities. So I think the hitters feel good about it. Again, you'd rather face someone else because he's going to be the Cy Young winner. But, hey, in a winner-take-all, the pressure maybe is a bit more now on Tarek Skubal to try and replicate what he did in Game 2.
Certainly, I agree with that. Jensen Lewis, 6 o'clock tomorrow at Lakewood Truck Park. Check us out. We'll be there. I wanted to ask you about Skubal, though. You're right. He's filthy. He's so good. We get that. What's that to say, though, that they've seen him? Obviously, they didn't see him a lot in the regular season. He did what he did on Monday. They're going to go back to the tape of their opening round series and all that kind of stuff. Jensen, I keep saying, like, can he do it again? Can he do it again? Can he do it again? And every time he goes out there and does it. But now that there's so much built up, how much do you think that helps the Guardians lineup, if at all, that they've at least seen him now?
Yeah, and that, I go back, Matt, to the familiarity part of it. There's still an execution element here that with his stuff, it's going to be hard to replicate that dominant of a stat line, but he's capable of doing it. So that cannot be lost on the fans. And really, I think that lineup will be anticipating he'll be close to, if not his very best. I would say from a scouting report standpoint, because this is similar in pressure, like Detroit didn't want to go down 0-2 in Game 2. And with where the elements are for a night game, those guys will be able to see from pitch number one. They'll be able to pick up the spin much better than that second time around, where they had to kind of wait until that mound was covered, at least from the shadows perspective. I would say from a mentality standpoint, you carry the weight of what David Fry did, not only for the pinch hit, go ahead homer, but also the guards ball element of the safety squeeze. I just love how that played so much into the DNA of this group and willing to do anything, however they had to get it done, they were able to execute. And I also go back to Austin Hedges saying early in the year, and I know you guys have talked about it here on the network a lot, they approached every game like it was a postseason game. I took that in April. I'm like, that's really damn hard to do for a 6-month regular season. That's hard mentally. Yeah. But man, you look at the body of work, Matt, and they've really done that. So they've gotten themselves ready for a moment like last night, a moment like tomorrow night. That's why I feel very comfortable with where this group's at. Had they not been hitting up until last night, okay, yeah, the 20 straight scoreless innings are an eyesore at that point. But man, what a job by Lane Thomas in the top of the lineup and Stephen Kwan, getting things started yesterday. I think they feel the momentum of yesterday's offensive performance and putting up 5 runs. You've seen their bullpen now. And granted, Detroit has seen our bullpen plenty too. So there's not going to be a lot of secrets going into tomorrow. It is all going to come down to who executes better.
Guardians built that callus, man. I kind of wish Alex Cobb had done the same, but that's okay. We got the callus going. Jensen Lewis joining us here on the show. See him tomorrow, Lakewood Truck Park, 6 o'clock. We're going to be there. Jensen, I want to flip over to our pitching. Obviously, Bobby did what he needed to do yesterday. Okay, maybe one batter too long. It is what it is. For tomorrow, do you go Boyd? I've made the case for Gavin Williams, because Gavin's one start against the Tigers this year was solid. They've not seen him at all. Could you use him as just an opener, saying a guy gets to second base, or we get to the 4th inning and you've seen this lineup coming over, you're out, and then you go to Matthew Boyd? Or do you start the guy that's already done it once? What would you do for the Guardians starting pitching tomorrow?
Yeah, and it's a great idea, Matt, but I think Stephen Vogt probably sticks with a veteran guy who's been there, understands how to manage the heart rate and execute. And as far as how the stuff plays, Boyd's probably the soft tosser of the rotation, and that may be good because then you can bring in the freight trains of Cade Smith and Hunter Gaddis, who are probably ticketed for multiple innings of work again, just like they were in Game 4. So that won't shock me. You may see maybe a Tim Herron or an Eric Sabrowski situationally, if it lends to that from a left on left. Something to also keep in mind here, Matt. Remember, Kerry Carpenter left with the strained hamstring yesterday. That could be a massive blow if he's not able to go. Now, I think he'll do everything possible to at least be available as a pinch hitter if A.J. Hinch doesn't have him already in the starting lineup. And you would anticipate, if it is Boyd, Carpenter will not be in the starting lineup because of how A.J. Hinch has done a right-handed heavy construction from the get-go. Now, that's where the chess game really begins for both managers. It goes back to Stephen Vogt. How quickly do you get Matthew Boyd out of there? And what is your inflection point to use Cade Smith, who's been our Andrew Miller of this year? I think that's the first point I look at with Matthew Boyd is, yes, you're going to try and collect as many outs. You probably don't see Stephen Vogt roll the dice and maybe try and sneak an out or two. I think he'd rather go with, I am not giving the Tigers any hope, any air whatsoever to operate in a run-scoring situation. I think he'll have a quick hook.
I wrote that down, so I want to ask you about Jensen. You're the perfect person to ask about this. Relievers in the playoffs, right? Where in the regular season, you guys show up pretty much every day knowing, like, hey, I could pitch, but again, I pitched 2 out of the last 3 days. Maybe I'm out. Playoffs, that's all out the window. What's that mentality shift like? And what is it for guys like Gaddis and Smith and Herron and Clase to have to, Jensen, want to ask, is it weird for you to have to sit in the dugout knowing that you're going to go back out there for guys that usually I come in, I do my job, and then I'm done for the rest of the day? Just from a reliever standpoint, what are some of those guys going through knowing they need multiple innings and they're pitching on just a couple, every other day pretty much?
It's the hardest thing to do as a reliever, Matt, and it gets amplified in the postseason because of all the emotion and the leverage and really the mental and physical toll. An inning is basically 2 innings. That's just how October innings are navigated and the pressure of each pitch. And it'll be at its peak, tomorrow night, because every pitch will matter. I think for these guys, and they've had instances throughout the year where they've had to come into a situation, get out of a big spot, sit down, and then get back up and do it again. So there relatively has been a good amount of times where they've had to do it already, which is great because you want to know from a heart rate standpoint from, hey, do I need to get up and walk around the dugout with 2 outs just to get the blood flowing again? It's different now in our pitch clock era too, Matt, because
that's a good point.
It used to be, hey, you get 8 throws and that's it. You can get right out there and start firing pellets if you need, a few extras to get loose again. So I think you've seen where, particularly with Cade, obviously with Hunter, and Hunter can go back to his time as a starter. He's been sort of used to doing this. And he can rely on that experience. Cade can do most of that because he's already had to do it in a short sample here in this division series. I think what you've got is basically whoever gets the lead first is going to go right to their big guns. And for Detroit, it's probably a little bit lengthier of a leash for Skubal if he's on, because I don't think AJ Hinch wants to have to use Brisky and Vest for multiple innings if he doesn't have to. It may come to that, which is why I was shocked yesterday when Jackson Jobe came out for the ninth inning. I'm like, you got a young kid in there in a real, intriguing spot, and you have Will Vest, who has been nearly untouchable this postseason up to that point. I thought that was maybe a misfire from AJ Hinch, and I don't think he makes the same mistake twice.
Final thing, Jensen Lewis, always appreciate your time, man. So geared up for tomorrow. Give me the thing. What's the thing? Is it something about our lineup? What's the key, the thing that you're going to watch? You mentioned the shadows, which I just think is a fantastic point in this whole thing with Skubal. What's your one thing for tomorrow, Jensen?
2 words, Jose Ramirez. And your star has to be a star, and he was in Game 4 with the go-ahead home run at that point. I was just on with Jim Bowden on MLB Network Radio, and he said, what would the scene look like? Bottom of the ninth, tie game, Tom Hamilton on the call, and it's Jose walking it off. Build the damn statue down, Matt, because that's the vibe. That would be great. Now, I don't have any hair left to lose, and we'd all just be stressed out if it got to that point, and we're still tied going to the 9th inning. But I think the 2 keys are get off to a quick start, really force Tarek Skubal into some pressure that first time around the order, get the early lead, turn it over for our vaunted bullpen, and I think Jose Ramirez has to have a signature day on Saturday night to get us into the ALCS.
Pretty sure cardiologist appointments are going to spike next week in Cleveland. Ryan's got a quick question there for Jensen.
Before we let you go, I got to give you credit, man, because for those who have been listening to our few ALDS pregames out at Lakewood Truck Park, they know this best. You have been absolute money on calling out which players are going to show up on specific days. You had Game 1 with Lane Thomas. You hit the head on the nail with Brian Rocchio. And I want to talk about Brian Rocchio for a minute. I'd argue that nobody's seen the ball better in this series than maybe Stephen Kwan, who is Stephen Kwan, right? Just talk a little bit about how big Brian Rocchio has been in this series and how has he just been able to flip this switch and being such a big part of this lineup?
Yeah, and honestly, Ryan, when you think about Rocchio through the end of the season, he really took some big steps forward offensively. Plate discipline is always critical for success with young guys in their first couple of turns around the big leagues in the regular season. But I appreciate that he's not tried to do too much. He's tried to keep the line moving. You don't see him over swinging. Maybe a few instances early in the season where he was trying to do some damage. He stayed within his approach. He stayed within the process. And it's always a huge deal, guys, when you can turn the lineup over 1 extra time, if not 2 extra times, to get those extra ABs for your best 3 hitters. And I think for Roque, he's really been great under pressure. He has allowed himself to just let the talent speak and really come out. He'll be a huge part of their success if they go on to win tomorrow night. But I think the bottom of the line, and you can say that honestly, Ryan, for most postseason teams, your bottom of the lineup is going to be as critical as your middle. You've got to give them as many opportunities as possible to drive in runs, and Roque has been so good with that.
I know our Lakewood Truck Park pregame's been bringing us the juice. It's bringing us the good luck. We're back at it tomorrow, 6 o'clock out there. Jensen will be there. Always appreciate your time, man. I know you're busy all over the place today. Bring us home another one tomorrow, all right?
You got it. We'll see you there. Can't wait for a packed house, guys. Let's go get it. Go Guards.
Let's get it. Jensen Lewis, let's go. Lipton Hard Iced Tea, Lakewood Truck Park, 6 o'clock tomorrow. It's just bringing the vibe, man. You know that's a good setup for everything. Dude, that's why Jensen is the best. I didn't even think about the shadows.
Yeah,
He's been
big on that. He's been
didn't
big on
even think about it. And I was at the game on Monday, and I sat there and I watched the sun go down. I watched this like, come on. If anything, it's just an equalizer. It's like that's just one outside factor that we don't have to have. Then if you again want to tilt it towards we won Game 4, you want to tilt it towards we're back at home, all that stuff, man, is just lining up for us. Let's go tomorrow night. And again, a lot of the other things, how Votes handled these things, how the relievers are going, a lot of the players that we're talking about. Listen, it's a Game 5. It's an elimination game to continue on. There's going to be pressure. but I feel like the pressure is like a positive. You know when you're like squeezing, you're like, man, I'm nervous and this sucks. I have an excitement. About what I'm going to see from the Guardians tomorrow. Doesn't mean it's going to be easy. Doesn't mean that it's going to be, every single guy is going to have to contribute all that. You're just going to need your big guns. And what did Jets say right there? Jose Ramirez. So that home run was massive. And I know that there were people kind of starting to look at some of those stats with Jose and say, like, man, he's not really been the postseason player that you'd hope him to be. Aces that home run yesterday. Maybe that just opened things up a little bit. Maybe that just opens it up a little bit on what they need to do. The comfortability of being at home, sleeping in their own beds last night and tonight, getting that workout in today. It's all going to be there.
Man, how just massive would it be if tomorrow we can get something out of Josh Naylor? Even if it's not a home run.
He's kind of the big one. Double,
just to get excited, get the crowd more involved, and get the rest of the team hype, man.
His helmet or something like that.
I mean, when you talk about what an X factor is, Josh Naylor, when he's on, is the epitome of an X factor. Not only in terms of affecting a game, but affecting that clubhouse, affecting how loud the fans are. If we can get something out of Josh Naylor tomorrow, man, we got some good odds.
The other thing that's creeping in my head a little bit is how this series has gone, right? Where we blew him out. You felt like you got blown out against Tariq Skubal, but it wasn't quite that bad. That's just how freaking good he was. Then they, again, squeak out 3-0. Then we come back. Are we not due for just an ass whooping? We're talking about us giving it to them again. Like, as close as this game has been, these games have been, like what we did all the way back on that, what was that, Saturday or whenever it started, right?
Yep, Saturday.
To go all the way back to that, I think Tigers are due for an ass whooping.
And you think about just and like
that's
you said,
with Skubal on the hill, which is a hard thing to ask.
But Matt, to your point, you talked about how dominant Skubal was, right?
Can he do
for him to replicate just how good he was? I mean, the stat on the broadcast, right? If you picked it up, it was he's one of 4 pitchers to go in a playoff game first 12 up, or excuse me, first whatever it was, 6 innings to have a perfect game leading into that. It was like Sandy Koufax, Nolan Ryan, I believe it was, some guy Astros, I don't remember his name, and Tariq Skubal.
Yeah,
and like you said, it did maybe feel a little bit like a blowout because you couldn't get the bats going at all. But he can't do that again, can he?
I keep saying that. I kept saying that in the Astros series. I kept saying that against. There's no way he can do this again, right? And here we are. So I'm going to ask him again. And again, the shadow part of it, they've seen him now. What you're going to do to scrap and get it. And the thing is, I get where the Tigers are coming from. Let's flip to be Detroit fans for just a second, right? They're going to come into this and say, Skubal's going to shut them down. We just got to score a couple of runs. That's it. Could you imagine if you get that first run on the board? Could you imagine if you start to get Skubal's pitch count up? Yeah. Now, they'll throw him out there until his arm falls off. If he's dancing and he's getting walks, but then they're getting double plays or they're whatever, they'll pitch him till his arm falls off if they need to. But that's where Detroit is coming in about if he shuts him down, that'll be fine. You already shut him down once. Did you get that first run? You start to show him, hey, man, we're on today. We're seeing that baseball, and we're hitting right back up the middle. That's how it's going to go. All right, speaking of how it's going to go, what do you want to do? You want to do picks? You want to do the grid's kind of moot because we didn't do it yesterday.
But we could say Monday will be the...
I'd rather just start a fresh week Monday. You know what I mean?
Well, we were perfect this week.
We were.
We're just going to throw away a perfect week?
Do you want to do grid and Wordle 2 for 2?
Sure.
Want to do that?
Yeah.
Go.
All right. Well,
you want to know why? Because we can't do yesterday's. Because I did yesterday's on my own.
Oh, did you?
Just screwing around.
All right. Well, we can't throw away a perfect week.
We're on it. It's good mo for the guards.
Right.
Good mo for the guards. Maybe. What if we do baseball? What if we do a little bit of football? Look at that. We suck at it. Well, baseball is usually better than basketball. I feel like we hit. All right. Let's get this one done. And go from there. Go.
All right, 10+ sacks in a season, Green Bay Packers. Clay Matthews or Reggie White.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'm assuming it had to be with the Buccaneers when he got the 10 sacks in that season.
Yeah.
Right? Is that how it works?
I'm assuming, but then you could just go Shaq Barrett, right?
You think he got 10 in a season?
I can't think of another legacy type of pass for, unless you go.
Like, so for instance, Ndamukong Suh, but did he have to get those 10 sacks when he played for the Buccaneers?
I don't know.
I don't
Well,
think he
do this.
did.
Click off of that. Click off what you're doing. Hover over the 10 sack. It'll tell you. Click on that.
When paired with a team, 10 sacks must be achieved with that team in a single season. Oh, okay. So it looks like it's gotta be with the Buccaneers.
It's got to be Shaq Barrett, right? Didn't he lead the league in sacks one year?
As a linebacker?
I think so. I mean, he's an outside. He's like TJ
Sure.
Watt. He's like an outside linebacker.
I gotta say, I gotta type Shaquille.
I obviously. Right?
All right.
Okay, good. That's what I thought.
Max.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
MVS.
Yep. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Where is he, by the way? Is he still there? Is he still in Kansas City? Where the hell happened to him?
No, he
Kind of fell off there, did he not?
I'm not sure where he
is.
is.
Yeah, I don't know where he went. All right.
Buccaneers, Chiefs.
What is screaming at me for this one? I wanted to say Jared Allen, but there's something screaming here.
It's not John Lynch, is it?
No, he was Tampa, but then he went to San Francisco, and then he finished things out with the Patriots. I don't know. We'll come back to that one. There's something stinking about that one, though. I don't know what it is. All right, just run through the Jets. Ryan Fitzpatrick's got to work for one of those. That would probably be the one, right?
Yeah. He played for the Jets 100%, right?
Yeah. Right? That's what I thought. Jets
Green Bay.
Brett Favre.
Aaron Rodgers or Randall Cobb.
Oh, yeah. Or those guys, too. Or Brett Favre. Yeah, that works, too.
Jets, Raiders. Okay.
Again.
Let's think quarterback. Think quarterback. Joe Flacco, no.
You know, Mark Sanchez, no. Chad Pennington, I don't think so. I don't know. Quarterback's not.
Yeah, maybe not quarterback.
Maybe not. I thought Greg Zuerlein for a second, but I don't think he ever kicked for the Raiders. Raiders, Jets. And again, I feel like there's like a real legacy. I don't think Kenny Stabler ever went to the Jets. Like Charles Woodson didn't. I wanted to say Ty Law for some reason, but I don't think that's right.
Did Darrelle Revis ever play for the Raiders?
No. Nnamdi Asamoah was there, but then he went to Philly. We were talking about those guys the other day.
Charles Woodson never played for the Jets?
No. Jerry Rice never played for the Jets. I thought about Brandon Marshall for a second, but I don't think he ever played for the Raiders.
Remember him on the Raiders?
I don't remember him on the Raiders either.
Devontae Adams soon?
Yeah. Can we do that? Yeah. Just give us that pass for right now.
All right. Can we think of Kansas City Raiders?
All right. Kansas City Raiders. That I keep thinking running back. Like, I know it's not Marshawn Lynch.
Sure.
Oh my God. Like, not Jamal Charles. There's somebody else. There's a running back with Kansas City that I keep thinking of. He was like LaDainian Tomlin. He was like a stocky guy. Wasn't Darren Sproles. That might, but I don't think he ever played for the Raiders. Oh, Jets Raiders. Terrell Pryor?
Yes. Yep.
Right? Jets? Yeah, right? Yeah, right?
Yep.
LL. E. There you go.
Thank you. Nice.
Nice. All right, nice. Okay, nice. Yeah, nice. Okay.
Kansas City, Tampa. How can we not think of one? Sammy Watkins, no. Juju, no.
No.
Mecole, no. Alex Smith, no.
No.
Nick Foles, did he play for the Buccaneers?
Maybe. I don't think Mike Glennon ever played in Kansas City. I mean, hold on to Nick Foles, but Devin Hester, I don't think so. Trent Green. Oh. Did we not do Trent Green one time for Kansas City Raiders? Do you remember that? I remember that.
Then maybe.
But here's my problem. I think it was wrong. And I can't for the life of me now remember what player we ended up picking. Because I was sitting there and I dude, we've had this one before. I mean, obviously all of these at some point we've had before. Like Kansas City Raiders.
Did Daniel Sorensen go to the Bucs?
No. It was oh my God.
For which one?
Oh my God. No, it wasn't Michael Crabtree. He got brought up. There's a receiver. Holy God, we've had this
Matt
one before.
Collins?
Martavis
Bryant?
Keep going. Just keep
Raiders
like,
receivers?
Something like that. Yeah,
Nelson Aguilar?
No, it was like we've had this one before. And I started with Trent Green. I think I said Trent Green, and I can't remember if it actually worked or not. Then we fell down the rabbit hole of trying to find other guys. And for
a receiver for
the
Raiders.
like there's oh my God.
Jordy Nelson?
No.
Is he black?
I can't. Yeah, I think I'm thinking Crabtree, somebody like that, but I can't get that out of my head for some reason. Because I feel like it was Crabtree, and we're like, man, we didn't know he played there. Talking about Kansas City.
Right.
The other one, Ted Washington, former Browns defensive tackle. I know he played in Oakland, and I, for some ungodly reason, remember we clicked on him like, oh, I didn't know he played in Kansas City. It was something like that. It was something like that. Oh, God, my heart rate. There's so much swirling with that.
What about that Richie Incognito?
Yeah, I don't think you ever played in Kansas City, though. Was it Rich Gannon?
Obviously played for the Raiders.
I know. I feel like we went Trent Green, and it was wrong. I think it was wrong. And then when we clicked on it, there was something like that where we were just like, damn, we forgot about that. It was like, it was obscure. It wasn't an easy one, but it was one that we should have gotten, you know?
Doug Martin?
No, he never went to Kansas City. He works for Bucks Raiders, but we don't need that one. Okay. Cam Irving. Bucks Chiefs.
Cam Irving?
Cam Irving. E.
That's probably Cam.
Yeah.
Who said it so confidently?
I thought it was, man.
You're not thinking of Danny Shelton, are you?
Type in Danny Shelton.
Is that what you're thinking of? Son of a gun.
Type in Dan Shelton.
Oh, it didn't work either. LaShawn, we always forget about that. Marcus Allen. Oh, wow.
That was it!
Yeah.
That was it, because remember when we walked it off on Marcus Allen?
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
No, it's
Yep.
exactly what it was.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
Josh Freeman, Darrell Revis. What would Darrell? Didn't I say Darrell Williams?
Yeah, but I don't know what he would have worked for.
Rich Gannon. Yeah.
I knew Rich Gannon would have worked for one. Oh, son of a gun. Rich Gannon, Raider.
And we already used Wordle, didn't we? On Monday.
This week we didn't. Yep, he works Chiefs Raiders. I said it too. I said it. I knew it. But yeah, Marcus Allen, because remember we did it. And we walked
exactly
off on
who it
Marcus
was.
Allen. Exactly what. Ah! Pain. Mike tweets. You tweeted last time. It's Marcus Allen. God, we're stupid. God. Well, that means it's a good weekend for picks. Does that not how it goes? Let's go around the league, NFL, Week 6. We ride on in, buddy. Week 6, here we go. All right. Last week, a modest. So you're going to be a game short of me.
Okay.
Because you didn't send me your Browns pick.
For Browns Commanders?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
I must have missed it then.
Let me look.
In your text?
Unless you're just trying to ship me out.
Nope. Oh, no. No.
Yeah, I put Washington -3.
Oh, you did?
I texted you that.
I believe you. Okay, so now at least we're on the same page. Okay. So we were both above 500 last week. I went 7-6-1. You went 8-5-1. So you pick a game up on. Now the week prior, I'm gonna have to do the season scores here in a minute.
Okay.
You want me to do them now?
Nah, let's just do this.
All right, I'll do that later. So you went 8-5-1 last week.
Okay.
I went 7-6-1. So you pick up a game. You were 3 games above 500 last week of the push. Now, unfortunately, we both start off with an L last night with Seattle and the 49ers. I'm kind of glad the 49ers won because that punt very clearly hit the returner, and they didn't give it to him. But 49ers get the win last night. We both took Seattle, cooked on that. Let's head on over to London where they like cooking up some fish and chips. And we go 9:30 Sunday morning. Trevor Lawrence playing for the London Jaguars at this point, taking on Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. The Bears, a 1.5-point neutral favorite here, even though they are considered the home team. Ryan, 81% of public money is on the side of Caleb Williams and the Bears. Here's the under is where you play it. Okay, the under in all the international games is very clearly the play. But also, favorites excel in the international games. They are 35. Talking about favorites over in London, or actually in general international games. Favorites are 35, 10-1 straight up, and 31-15 against the spread. The public has struggled a bit overseas. Teams with 51% or more of the public tickets on international games are actually a game below 500. So this is a flip where the public is very heavy on the Bears, but again, the favorites dominate, which would be, again, it's bad on the public for the Bears, but good that the favorites usually get it done. Caleb Williams will be the 6th rookie quarterback to start an international series game and the first since 2021. Those 5 prior quarterbacks are 0-5 and 0-5 against the spread, with 4 of those 5 quarterbacks losing by more than 14 points. So rookie quarterbacks in international games don't do it. Do you want the list of the other 5 rookies to start an international game?
Let's do it.
2012, Derek Carr, Raiders versus Miami, lost 38-14. 2014, Blake Bortles, Jags, face Dallas, they lose 31-17. 2017, DeShone Kizer and the Cleveland Browns fall to Minnesota 33-16. 2019, Gardner Minshew and the Jags fall to Houston 26-3. And most recently, Zach Wilson and the Jets lost to Atlanta in 2021 27-20. That was the closest game of all of them.
Yeah.
So it tells you The rookies have not been good. Bears have covered in all 5 of their games so far this season, and they've covered 5 of their straight games as, I'm sorry, not covered all 5 of their games, but they've covered their last 5 games when they've been listed as a favorite. Caleb Williams starting his career 3-2 straight up and 4-1 against the spread. He has covered all 3 games this year that they have been favorites. You flip it over for the Jags. Of course, a staple in London. This will be Jacksonville's 12th game overseas. They are 6-5 straight up and also 6-5 against the spread. Jacksonville is closed as the favorite overseas 4 times. They're just 2-2 in those games. So that tells you they're a little bit better when they're the dog overseas. 3 of those 4 games when they are the dog, they've won 3 of those 4, going 2-0 against the spread and straight up last season in consecutive weeks in London for the first time. Jags got their first win of the season later. Teams that get their first win in week 6 or later, week 6 or later, coming off their first win of the season, only win 35% of their next game. So the whole point of that is when you win your first game that late in the season, you're not apt to go for 2 in a row at this point. Trevor Lawrence in his career is just 8-20 straight up and 13-15 against the spread on the road. He is 12-9 against the spread in his career following a win. I don't want to give you Doug Peterson stats. That's where we're at. It is Bears 1.5 over in London. I'm going to go with my gut here. You know where I'm going. I'm going to take Jacksonville.
Oh, that's a shot.
It's basically a home game for them. I'm going to ride this rookies don't play well in London trend. Give me Jacksonville plus the 1.5. Right.
I'll roll with you in history.
Wow. You like that very much. All right, next up, 1 o'clock. What a matchup here. Jaden Daniels, Lamar Jackson. The short 50-mile jaunt up there from Washington to go up to Baltimore. Commies, Ravens. What do we got? It is the Ravens 6.5-point home favorites over Washington. 56-44 public money is on the side of Lamar Jackson. Lamar in his career has faced an NFC team 22 times in his career. Do you want the gaudiest of gaudy statistics? He is 21-1 in his career against NFC teams.
Yeah, man.
He is split, though, 11-11 against the spread. His only loss to an NFC team in his career was Daniel Jones and the Giants in 2022. Dan Quinn has faced Lamar Jackson just once prior to this matchup, back when he was coaching the Falcons in 2018. Lamar got that win 26-16. Lamar Jackson's 88 career starts. He's faced a coach for the first time 43 times. He is 36-7 straight up, but when he's faced them again, he's just 26-19. So again, it's not the first time with this team, but he's faced Dan Quinn before. History tells you to take the road underdogs who didn't make the playoffs the year prior. So road dogs that didn't make the playoffs the year prior, since 2019, they cover at a 55% rate. So that would lean towards Washington in all this. As we know, they score an obscene amount of points. 63% of their drives result in touchdowns. 31 points per game, is the highest mark in the NFL. But Lamar Jackson, as a favorite, is just 18-21 in his career. And when he's favored by more than 3 points, which he is here, he is just 7-18 against the spread. I'm going to take the Commanders here. I think they're going to cover. I don't know if they'll win that game, but you're going to give me a touchdown on that.
I will also take a backdoor touchdown from the Commies to cover.
Cards-Packers NFC matchup here at Lambeau. Jordan Love back. Kyler Murray with a big win last week. Can they get it done again here? Green Bay home 5-point favorite in this one. Public money, 64% of it is on the Arizona Cardinals to cover in this one, so we'll see. Over the last decade, there's been no harder trip than to Green Bay. Teams that go from a road game to a road game at Lambeau are just 7-15-1 against the spread the last 10 years, and they fail to cover by an average of 3 points. Matt LaFleur, 2-1 straight up and against the spread as dogs this year. They're better as the underdog. They'll be the big favorite here, so we'll see. Packers covered as road favorites versus the Rams last week and are now favorites again. Jordan Love is 3-4 against the spread in his career as a favorite, and he's never covered or won consecutive games as chalk. So something to keep an eye on there. Kyler Murray road unders have been profitable. In his 5 seasons, they are just 22-11 and 500 better in all 5 of his seasons entering this year when he's been on the road. So he's pretty good on the road coming out of that one. 5.5, or excuse me, 5 even for the Packers here. Give me Green Bay.
Well, we'll be riding together for the first 3. I'll take Green Bay as well.
Green Bay as well. Texans a 7-point road favorite as they go up to New England to take on the Patriots. Public money on this one, 84% of it is on Houston because Drake May getting his start as a rookie quarterback. Rookies in their first start since 2000 are just 43-94 straight up. That is only winning 31% of their time. When they are at home, they only win 36% of the time. So that tells you it's hurting here for Drake May. CJ Stroud, 22 starts in his career. He is 10-2 against the spread and 4-9 against the spread as a favorite. If Stroud and the Texans close at 7 or higher, this would be the first time in his career that he is facing as a favorite a 7-point spread. So can he cover that? We'll have to see. Since 2000, the Patriots have closed at 6-point dogs or higher at home 7 times. They are 5-1-1 in those games prior. Now, again, some of that is maybe Tom Brady. Some of that is maybe still Belichick. I don't know. We'll have to see. Underdogs of 7 points or more at home within a season. Teams' first 9 games of the season cover at 58% of the time. I think this one is different here. I'm going to take Houston in this one to cover that, and I think they do it easily. Ryan.
No Nico Collins, but it's CJ Stroud. Rookie quarterback. Give me Texans.
Texans it is. All right. Bucks 3.5-point favorites as they're on the road to take on the Saints. You get Spencer Rattler in this game. You even want me to go through the trends here? I'm taking Tampa Bay all day on this one. Tampa Bay -3. I mean, I can give you some trends to help you out.
No,
here
I don't want.
You don't even want. Public money, 67% of it is on Tampa.
I'll go Bucks.
Yeah, Tampa's the right call there. Titans are a 2.5-point home favorite against the Colts. Maybe because they don't know who's starting. Anthony Richardson is going to come back.
Well, they might be out. Jonathan Taylor, Michael Pittman.
Pittman's out. Yeah, Pittman ain't
and
playing.
Josh Downs might not be playing.
All right. Yeah, you're right. We'll see how it goes. Will Levis has started 4 games where he's had extended prep time. He is 3-1 straight up in all those games. He was listed as an underdog. That normal prep would be more than the 7 days because they played early and then okay, and they have the extra time. Okay. Coming off, or actually, he had the bye. Excuse me. Overall, teams off a bye, 13 days plus a rest, who's facing a team on a normal 7-day cadence, wins 56% of the time. I guess we got to go. You trust the Titans? I don't. Give me the Colts.
I mean, how do I bet up against Flacco at this point?
Yeah.
I'll go Colts.
All right, give me the Colts. Can we take a quick break, actually? Yeah. Take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll finish this out. We got to take a break, get back to the Guards, get back to the Browns. Be right back.
I'm Garage Beer, and this is Bobby Carpenter.
Garage Beer. Beer-flavored beer.
Beef with an F? Okay, my bad. It's crisp and cool, and it doesn't taste like ass. I'm Bobby Carpenter. I drink in garages because my wife says I don't belong inside. If you like a cold breeze on your bag, drink Garage Beer. It's American, and so can you. Garage Beer. Beer-flavored beer.
Well, how do they know I'm doing this? Did somebody leak this out?
It's social media.
Oh.
It's just, that's the way social media works now.
I thought maybe you were just running that yap.
Even though our strength of schedule was #1 in the NFL, I think we have the dogs up front. We have the dogs in the back as it relates to our defense. Our defense alone keeps us in these games. Not even talking about offense. Let's just say Deshaun Watson isn't there. We got dogs on the defensive side that's mirroring the potential of the Ravens from 2001 or 2000 Ravens with Jamal Lewis and the boys and Ray Lewis and those guys. They won, again, no disrespect to Trent Dilfer, but they won without a high-powered offense.
I don't buy into this nonsense, this conspiracy nonsense that he's got his money and he's dogging it. That's ridiculous.
They're off in the Kentucky Derby as Authentic takes them around the far turn. Tis the Laws making his move now, and they're into the stretch. These two stride for stride. Authentic, tis the Law. Here's the wire. Authentic has won the Kentucky Derby.
All right, back right at it. That's my fault. Parenting can be a scary thing sometimes. Everything's all good, though. Everything is all good. They go, hey, we got the results. And I was like, yeah, I know. We talked to the doctor yesterday. we went through. Hey, we're back. It's all good. Get to the Guardians second. We're midway through around the league. Let's go. All right, next up, Chargers a 3-point. We both took Indy there, right? You're riding with Indy plus 2.5. Yep. Here we go. Chargers on the road to take on the Broncos. Chargers a 3-point road favorite over really the upstart Bo Nix is over there. He and Sean Payton bitching at one another. I guess maybe it's a good. You see Sean Payton goes, that's my love language. Yeah. Like, oh yeah, yelling at somebody, it's your love language. 65% of public money is on the side of the Denver Broncos. Okay. Chargers are coming off their bye week and into Denver. Jim Harbaugh's first NFL bye week since 2014. This will be Harbaugh's 8th NFL game coming off a bye week. He was just 3-3-1 straight up and 3-4 against the spread in his prior stop. When you look at Harbaugh in extended rest, though, when he was with the 49ers, take that for what it is. He was 14-5-1 straight up, but that was a juggernaut 49ers team. So take that what it is. Now, we did the same thing earlier, about the Titans coming off a bye, teams with 13 days of rest facing a team with a regular 7-day cadence. They usually win about 56% of the time. Here's the other thing. Sean Payton has been really good facing a team that's coming off a rest when he isn't. Since 2019, when his team is on normal and the other team's coming off extended rest, he is 5-1 in that stretch. Last 3 games, Bo Nix, 3 straight wins, 64% completion percentage. He has not thrown an interception and 5 touchdowns. The Broncos are already 3-0 against the spread on the road this season. They've been really good at home, or excuse me, on the road. This year, just 1-1 against the spread. They're just 8-11 against the spread at home since 2022. I'm going to take the Chargers here. I like where the Broncos are headed. I think this is the game that Jim Harbaugh feels like his team really should win, needs to win if they want to keep in the playoff on here. I'll take the Chargers.
Chargers the 3-point favorite?
Yes, road.
Give me the Broncos.
Broncos at home, plus the 3. There you go. Steelers on the road to take on the Raiders. Steelers reeling just a little bit. 3-point road favorites to take on, we think, Aiden O'Connell.
No, he confirmed.
Okay, it is going to be him. 75% of public money is on the Steelers to cover that 3. It opened at 1. It is now to 3. Now, the Steelers have back-to-back losses. That's usually not good. Mike Tomlin, as a road favorite, isn't great either. In his career, as a road favorite, Tomlin is just 33-41-2 against the spread. But in the last 3 years, he's been in that spot 6 times. They've covered and won 4 out of those 6 games of being a road favorite. Of course, Justin Fields, he has, in his career, started 2 games out of the Central or Eastern time zone. He played Vegas and Denver. He won both of those games by at least 9 points, covering in each of those. I think this is going to be a defensive game for the Steelers. They should be all over the Raiders in this one. And I'm going to take Pittsburgh to cover that 3 on the road. Ryan.
I'll take the Yinzies.
Yeah, it is. That smells like an upset there, but I don't see it happening. Falcons with 88% of the public money on their 6-point road favorite, taking on Andy Dalton and the Carolina Panthers. Of course, Falcons-Bucks Thursday Night Football, basically an instant classic. Kirko coming back. But the Falcons have lost 2 straight road games in Carolina leading into this one. As far as Kirk Cousins goes, after 1 o'clock, he's only won 35% of his starts. You know, we talk about the primetime Kirko and all that kind of stuff. Frankly, we're running out of time here. All right, Falcons -6, Panthers, Carolina.
All right, Atlanta.
ATL it is for Ryan. Lions 3-point road favorites down in Jerry's World. Jared Goff and Dak Prescott. They have beat the Lions in 6 consecutive games over the last decade, and they are 11-3 against Detroit since 2000. I've got splits on Goff, indoor, outdoor. Indoor, he's a cover machine. 38-18 against the spread in his career indoors versus outdoors. Lions have won 9 consecutive games after the spread following a straight-up loss dating back to 2022. Dak Prescott against teams above 500 is just 19-33 in his career. So when he plays good teams, it very rarely goes well for him. Lions a 3-point road favorite against Dallas.
I'll take Detroit.
I'm taking Detroit, too. That's the right one to do. All right. What a stinker, I think, Sunday Night Football. Bengals, Giants. Bengals are 3.5-point road favorites against New York. My biggest question is, are they getting Malik Neighbors back for this game or not?
Still in protocol. He didn't practice. I think he has to practice today.
I don't know, man. Everybody's just going to ride the Bengals. 86% of public money is on the Bengals.
Give me the G-Men.
I like them, too.
I'll never bet the Bengals.
Yeah, I think I'm done betting the Bengals. I'll take the G-Men for getting me the points as well. Final one, Browns 9-point road dogs against Philadelphia.
I'll take Cleveland to cover.
I am, too. I've got no choice.
I don't think they're going to win.
I don't think they're going to win. But I'm not even going to run through the trends because I really don't care. We'll both take them plus the 9. Just God, please help us. All right. God, come on now. Tomorrow is the day. But right now is our time to pick our winner for some Guardians playoff swag, baby. Here we go. Ryan's setting it up. You had all the time in the world to enter this. If you did not, that is your problem. So again, we're going to give away a Fanatics Cat Guardians playoff T-shirt here right now. So all you had to do is follow and enter at Matt Fontana's show. And we are going to pick our winner here coming up in a little bit. Tomorrow, super excited. Oh, by the way, Ohio State, Oregon. Well, Ryan's not a big Ohio State guy, but it kind of is what it is. And of course, it is in Eugene, and Ohio State is a 3-point favorite. I'm taking the Buckeyes. I think, I know, Dylan Gabriel is that good. I'm going to look at Judkins. I'm going to look at Jeremiah Smith. I frankly think Oregon, I don't want to say that they're susceptible, that close, win over Boise State, who now probably got the Heisman favorite and all that kind of stuff. Ohio State showed me a lot more. I love the Buckeyes there. I actually am going to like them all the way up to -4.5. I actually buy up a little bit. I think they're going to cover by more than that. All right, Ryan's got it. You going to pull it up on the screen for everybody?
Yep.
Here we go. All right.
Hold on. I got to do this.
You're fine.
I need a drum roll.
Drum roll, please.
Are you ready?
Yes.
All right.
It's going to be you.
Mike Babcock.
Mike? He's not a former winner, right?
I
Mike Johnson won last time.
No. I don't think so.
All right, do me this. DM him. Congratulations to Mike. All you need to do, tell Ryan your address and your t-shirt size. Address and t-shirt size, all I need. Ryan, please DM him, and we'll get our winner. Folks, what a weekend is going to be. Really appreciate your support today. Really appreciate everybody this week. Today's like, dude, we need to like rest up. You need to rest up because tomorrow's going to be a long night. Again, Lakewood Truck Park, 6 o'clock. Jensen Lewis and crew will be there. We will see you there. Get it done, Guards. Get it done, Buckeyes. And for the love of God, get it done, Browns. We'll talk to you on Monday. It's going to be a victorious Monday. I know that. For Ryan Tyler, I am Matt Fontana. And as always, take it easy.